TekkaBooSon. I mean that, take a bow.
So I made a video a couple weeks ago about Chelsea fans panicking because we hadn't signed anyone. And I was getting annoyed because everyone was panicking and getting all angsty and nervous. And now I'm starting to get quite nervous because it's, what, July 9th today. And the only player we've signed is Willy Caballero, who arguably is worse than the guy he replaced, which was Asmir Begovic. So as it stands, we've actually got a worse squad. And even when you take out Diego Costa, who is almost certain to leave because he clearly doesn't want to play for Chelsea anymore, we are so worse off than last season, and it's in July. Now, I try to be optimistic about this kind of stuff, and I like to think that we're gonna pull some really big signings out of the bag, but we're just letting... we seem more intent on selling players at the moment, and you're seeing some rumours after Ake left that Chalobah and Loftus-Cheek might be leaving as well for very small sums. And I mean, Chalobah, for example, as it stands, he is a £20 million player. He's English, he's very experienced in the under-21 stage, he will be a English senior player in some capacity, but he's a 20 million player as it is. If he's playing for United or Arsenal, he's probably a 30 or 40 million player by now, if we're honest. And then Loftus-Cheek as well, his potential was massive. He just hasn't seemed to nail down a position, and he doesn't get the playing time. He hasn't been on any loans, so he's yet to showcase any of that. I just started to question, when are we actually going to sign someone? Lukaku seemed nailed on, and he's gone to United now. Not officially, but he's signing United shirts and stuff. You see that video of him and Pogba? Oh man. And then Alexandro, that's been dragging on for weeks and weeks now. That should have been tied up ages ago, so I really wouldn't be surprised if that falls through. Back to Lukaku, I do wonder though if we ever really wanted him, because it's just bizarre that Man United put in a bid and it's accepted, and so we put in a bid immediately with absolutely no intention of paying the agent fees. So I don't know, it was a weird one for me. It was almost like we were just putting in a bid for the sake of putting in a bid, or maybe it was a strategic thing because we wanted Man United to pay through the nose a bit more. We never actually wanted him. There's conflicting reports about this, of whether Conte was either furious or was actually relieved we didn't buy him, because it was meant to be an Emanalo signing and not a Conte decision. Does go back to then, who does Conte want? Is it Belotti? Is it Morata? Is it Aubameyang? Is it someone else? Also, we've got the whole Batshuayi thing where he obviously didn't trust him last season. He had a good run towards the end, but we'd already sort of tied up the title and everything. So is Batshuayi going to go as well? Are we going to play 3-5-2 or 3-4-3? So in which case, do we need three strikers? We could end up in the situation with De Costa leaves, Batshuayi leaves, and we've only got Llorente. It's a bit of a shambles at the moment because the season starts in like 4.5 weeks. So yeah, I just don't get it. And then we've got Bakayoko, so we've been in for him for a long time, and now some other clubs are coming in for him. Man United being one of them. If we lost another big signer to Man United, I wouldn't be surprised if Conte walks. Nemanja Matic looks like he's staying at the moment. It looks like we don't want to do any business for United, which is bizarre because if they sign Matic, then we're weakening their team, because Matic is not the player he was 2 years ago. So I'd be very surprised if United signed him, especially as Jose was part of his meltdown. But yeah, it's just bizarre. It's bizarre. We're looking into selling the youth players we've got for very low money. We've got tons of money in the bank from Oscar, etc. And the Oscar money hasn't been spent yet. And we got like the most money any club has ever been given for winning the league. We've got this massive sponsorship deal. We should be cash rich, and we should be pinging it around. But we just seem so against spending any sort of money, and it's going to cost us Conte. Because I think a few years ago he walked out on Juve for the same reasons, that they wouldn't spend any money. So, I mean, we really are going to have to go out and buy 4 or 5 players as a minimum, just to challenge for the title again. Forget the Champions League, just to challenge for the title. Especially as we're selling the youth, so we're losing that depth. And we've got so many more games to play next season. And on top of that, we're the champions, so the season's going to be naturally harder anyway. It's just a bit of a mess at the moment. Like I said, the optimist inside me, it does. I do feel like we must have a plan. We cannot be this poorly run club. It's just frustrating because nothing's happening, and it should have happened by now. So I don't know what they're playing at, and we can't have a repeat of the 15-16 season. We can't. Because we finally got a manager who could be long term, who's arguably the best manager in the world at the moment, like a proper tactical coach, and we're just throwing it away. We should be backing him. We should just give him as much money as he wants, and just go out and just build the team you want. And we could dominate the Premier League for 3 or 4 years, and we could actually go and win the Champions League, and deserve to win it. Not that we didn't deserve to win it in a sense last time, but win it convincingly. You know, like when we come up against a Barcelona or Bayern Munich and we're a favourite, that's what we should be. We shouldn't have to sit back and hope that they miss more chances than we do. And I don't know, it just feels like a prime opportunity now to become a truly elite club again, and we're just absolutely fucking it up, and it's frustrating to watch. Apparently we put on a bid for Aubameyang recently. I haven't seen much of him, but he's the type of player I'd like. He's got pace for days, and he's banging in goals left, right and centre. So I like him. I did want Lukaku. I'm not sold on Morata. And is a bit of a weird one really, because he's obviously had a cracking season last season, but it's a very different league, and I think the season before he wasn't very good, so this was his first sort of season. It's similar for me to signing like a Christian Benteke, like a Michu, Louis Saha, those sort of players that have one really good season and they go for big bucks and then they just can't cut it at a big club for whatever reason. They're just all risks, and Lukaku is going to go and bang 25-30 league goals for United for the next few years. So we need someone like that as well, especially as we don't have the goals coming from midfield anymore now Lampard's left. So there's a lot of work to be done, and if we're sitting here in 2-3 weeks without having made a massive signing, it's incredible really. It really is incredible, and it's very worrying. So, I mean, all we can do is just sit back and see what happens, but it's just hard to believe that we're in this situation where we're worried when we should have gone into the summer confident as champions with one of the best managers, if not the best manager in the world, and lots of money from the Oscar deal and the sponsorships and the title wins and everything. It's a bit mind-boggling, and you just wonder what the hell are they doing. But might be sitting here in 4 weeks' time, we sign Messi or someone. So there you go. Anyway, I'd like to hear who you guys want to sign though, and what sort of changes you think we need. So yeah, feel free to leave your sort of player recommendations in the comments box below, and the reason you want to sign them as well. That'd be interesting. And yeah, see what happens.